I am Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher 33, and the Austrian mystic Rudolf Steiner spoke of two demonic beings that are antagonists to the calling of the human soul, or I should say the highest calling of the human soul. Lucifer, the Lord of light, and Ahriman, the Lord of darkness, are these two beings. And though these beings are antagonistic to the human soul, they also serve a purpose in a human soul reaching its highest potential in this life. And today I'm going to talk about their roles a little bit. So first, Lucifer, from the Steiner philosophy, is the Lord of light. Lucifer is the bringer of wisdom, of worldly wisdom, enlightenment, if you will. And Lucifer brings knowledge that opens up human perception. Now, this all sounds very positive, but the catch is the intention of Lucifer is for humanity to get caught up in escapism, vanity, seeking wisdom, being ungrounded, seeking wisdom but yet not embodying that wisdom, seeking pleasure, escaping through pleasure and flights of fantasy. And when one starts to value the wisdom and the sensation of this new light that's come in so much but is not grounded, is not embodied, then that's when this being Lucifer will feed off of that human soul and be able to puppeteer the soul. You could say this is the false light. But the value that Lucifer brings is choice. A human without free will is just a robot. It's just a program going, and there's no movement, there's no evolution, there's no discovery, there's no growth. It just simply is. And when you have this being that brings wisdom, that brings ideas, that brings the knowledge of good and evil, you now have choice. You now have free will. And that is the gift of Lucifer, is with the wisdom, with the light, you now have free will. You have will to choose how you want to engage with this wisdom that's being brought to you. You can escape and be ungrounded, or you can learn to take in what's useful and embody that and express that. Ahriman, now we'll go there, which is the Lord of darkness. Ahriman is the Lord of cold calculation. Ahrimanic principles are very regimented, very rigid, very structured. Someone who is very stuck in their ways, who relies on numbers and data for validating their existence and validating life. That's a very much of an Ahrimanic type of energy. Ahriman is here to bring predictability, structure, control, heaviness. And this is the force of order, if you will. Force, again, of routine and order. Many believe, me included, that Ahriman is the spirit of the Antichrist, the spirit that will show up to bring order out of a time of perceived chaos, and order through a false sense of salvation. Salvation at a heavy price. It's surrendering one's freedom in exchange for safety, in exchange for order. Everything with the Ahrimanic consciousness is very calculated. It's very rational. Things are always validated through numbers, through materialism. It is a force of density of the material world. That which is spiritual from an Ahrimanic perspective, anything that is spiritual or energetic is looked at as fantasy, as invalid. And the value, again, of the Lord of Darkness, the heaviness that the Lord of Darkness brings, is resistance. Without resistance, we have no growth. And the spirit of darkness, that is the Ahrimanic spirit, brings the resistance that a human spirit needs to rise up, to stand up, to truly grow in its power. Now, the third spirit is the spirit that is the calling of the highest human potential, which stands in the middle of Lucifer, the left-hand path, and Ahriman on the right, which is the spirit of Christ, the spirit of the highest human potential, the spirit of sovereignty. This is the sovereign, upright, just human that has reconciled its material nature with its spiritual nature and is standing in its perfect balance and has a high expression of life. And again, it's through the choice of learning how to choose wisely that Lucifer offers, and the resistance, being able to stand against the heaviness, against the darkness that Ahriman brings, that one is able to connect with the Christ spirit, again from this Steiner philosophy. And I think there's something to that. That's been my experience. I think this is a beautiful way of explaining these invisible forces and the subtle nature to the human existence. So with that being said, I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well, my friends, and I will see you on the other side.